Alrighty, we're going to get into the interview tips now. I have two that I want to share with you that are ideally going to help you progress through the interview stages a lot smoother. I don't want you to get stuck on any of them. I want you to progress through them smoothly once you iron out the kinks. And so, interview tip number one is called discovery. I also sometimes refer to this as flip the script, but essentially, what I want to preface with here is discovery is actually one of the most fundamental sales skills you'll ever learn. Um, and so I'm actually teaching it to you even as part of like to prepare you for what's to come in your day-to-day job. And if you can demonstrate discovery in your interview process, the sales manager is going to pick up on it. It's a really good kind of telltale sign that you know what you're doing and you know why you're here. So I'm kind of trying to like wet your beak and get you introduced into some fundamental sales skills so that you can actually apply them in your interview process to get ahead and differentiate yourself. So the purpose of this technique is to help you progress to the stages smoothly. In each interview, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. Now, as you know, and as I've prepared you, your first call will be with the recruiter, and basically, she's just there to vet you. All she wants to do is quickly qualify you and pass you on to the next stage. So don't make this difficult for her. She has hundreds of applicants and applications to go through. She just wants to find the good ones and pass them on. That's really what her job is and how she's promoted and how she's rewarded. She's just trying to hook the sales manager up with as many qualified meetings as possible. So just don't make it hard for her. She wants to pass you on. So answer her questions professionally, be concise, and give her what she wants to hear. And then once she's done with her rounds of questions, this is where you step in. This is where you get to ask her questions that will help you understand exactly what the team wants from a new salesperson. So that way you can position yourself successfully in the next interview with the sales manager and the rest of the team. So essentially what we're doing is we're using the recruiter to gather information, and then we're using that information to position ourselves and sell ourselves exactly in the way that they want to hear. And this is called discovery. This is I'm doing discovery by asking you questions to figure out exactly how to sell to you. If you've ever watched that movie Wolf of Wall Street, there's a famous scene at the end of the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio goes up to a person in the audience and basically tells them, sell me this pen. And what a lot of rookies will do, a lot of non-salespeople will do, is they'll try to sell the pen immediately by going into like a pitch. Oh, well, this pen is very nice because it has X, Y, and Z. And right? The actual right thing to do is pause and ask, well, what are you looking for in a pen? Are you looking for something that you can write with for long periods of time or something to draw with? What are your intentions for this pen? Oh, well, my intentions are to actually draw. I'm an artist and I love to draw X, Y, and Z. So I need a pen that it has a thin kind of like tip, but can also go bold and scribble long, bold lines for the characters. Oh, okay. Well, now you know how to position the pen and explain the benefits of the pen. That's a high level explanation of what discovery is. You're essentially asking questions so that you can then position your product, aka yourself. So what you'll do is, and you don't have to worry about writing these down. I'm going to put these together in a document for you, but you're going to be asking questions such as, okay, overall, what's the team looking for in a sales rep? Help me understand specifically what soft skills or character traits the team is looking for in a person. And specifically, what hard skills do they care about? Like what job skills should I be bringing to the table? Okay. And say you do hire the perfect candidate, paint the picture for me. What does success look like in this role? What metrics am I going to be held accountable to? What responsibilities will I be held accountable to that matter most to the team? Help me understand. And essentially, what we're just doing with these sets of questions is trying to understand what they're looking for in a person, what kind of person they're looking for, and what traits this person should be able to display. And then what we want to do is use these questions again, and in this information that we gather, we're going to use this information against them. And I don't mean against them in a malicious way. I mean, we want to use this information to successfully position and target exactly what they're looking for. So essentially, this information you will then use to go into your interview with the sales manager, and you'll know exactly the type of person he is looking for and why, based on your questions that you asked to the recruiter. And also, these questions show curiosity about the role. It's actually very likely that the recruiter won't know the answers to all these questions because, again, really what they're trying to do is just qualify very quickly and try to pass you on to the next stage. So it's likely that these questions are actually going to throw the recruiter off. And then what she'll do as a result is be like, okay, this person's asking really good questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass them on to the next stage because it's clear that they know why they're here. And what I want you to remember here is discovery is a fundamental sales skill. Your ability to ask questions and then use that information wisely to position yourself is exactly what you'll be doing in your day-to-day job with the company's products. It's a lot of people don't, you're not supposed to just go and demo, for example, a product. What you do a lot of times is you ask the prospect and the company's questions so that you can successfully point them in the right direction and set them up with the proper salesperson. It's a regular part of your day-to-day job. Now you're just going to be applying it in your interview process so that you can sell yourself successfully. And then go ahead and do the same discovery process with the sales manager. So in round two, once you get to the sales manager, go ahead and do the same thing. Go through his round of questions, answer them based on the information you gathered though from the recruiter, which is that's the key. You're going to get questions, but now you should know how to answer them based on the information you gathered. And that's how you position yourself successfully, and that's how you sell yourself successfully. It's through that discovery process that I've mentioned. And then at the end, when it's your turn to ask the sales manager questions, do the same thing so that you can position yourself successfully in the next round. Because the next round will likely be some sort of exercise or some sort of meeting with the rest of the team. Ask discovery questions with the sales manager so that you know how to position yourself successfully in the next round. And that's how you successfully win every single interview, even if hypothetically the interview process went on endlessly, right? You would know exactly how to position yourself for the next step because you do discovery on the previous step. And then you finalize each interview with that discovery. And this is Sales Fundamentals 101. This is how the best companies in the world are targeting their consumers. They know exactly what their consumer wants by the time they put out a product. They do this based on research and questions and surveys that they ask you, and they ask their consumers. I'm sure you've been on Instagram and you get a ad or a pop up based on, and it turns out that ad is exactly what you wanted anyway. Like you were looking for shoes that were of this type, or you were looking for a different type of product. This is how companies do it. This is how they advertise based on discovery and research. So you're actually just doing what a lot of world-class companies are already doing. You're doing discovery to successfully position yourself and target companies based on exactly what they want out of a salesperson. So go ahead and use discovery for your own benefit. And I promise you, you're going to sell yourself a lot better and get through the interviews a lot smoother.